All right, so what is your question, challenge? What can we help you with?
Well, the real thing, I want to do Google AdWords. I'm in a semi-competitive area. They really compete, memory experts really compete well as speakers, but there's not a lot of really quality people online that know a lot about SEO and stuff. I dipped into it a little while ago and spent a bunch of money and didn't make a lot of progress, but my main problem is time. Because I'm the product, I'm traveling all the time and everything. So I'm wondering, is this something I can do? I don't know, if I put in, say $200 a month and I just had a chance to look at the analytics maybe once a month and at least make some progress, recapture things. I definitely want to do the thing where your ads follow you, at least for the people who hit my site. So what's the quickest thing I could do with the least amount of my own personal time?
I would definitely say one thing I need to talk a lot about are do your competitive research. There's a couple tools. Follow.net is a free one. It's an add-on to a browser that allows you to look at your competition's website. You can see how much traffic they have. You could even see what ads they're using already. You could see what keywords they're advertising on. So you could.
Start.
You need to write that down because we don't have slides on this one.
Follow.net.
Follow.net.
The total badass one, there's a service called AdBeat, which we use when we work with new clients, that I can tell you everything about what an advertiser.
Something called WebFoo or something.
SpyFoo. There's a whole bunch.
Was that decent? Or
No. Depending on how deep you want to go, but first is first. If you're going to minimize if you have minimal time, and even if you don't, even if you have a ton of time, find out what your competitors are doing first.
No need to reinvent the wheel.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
And then you get creative and expand on that.
Exactly.
Second site. The second site.
AdBeat.
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 Yep. Mike Colella. It's his software. It's
That one is
phenomenal.
paid, not free.
Right.
Did you say you can find out their keywords as well?
Oh yeah. The keywords, the ads, everything.
You get to see the exact ads they're running,
So first,
how well they're doing.
First that, and then the second thing is, and I was going to chime in on this. I did a lot of SEO before I got into pay-per-click. One of the things that I love about pay-per-click is that it's instant information, instant traffic. I could put up an ad now and get traffic in a half an hour. If you want to test the waters, spend a couple $100 because SEO, depending on what you're doing, local is easy, like we were talking. More bigger national terms and stuff like that are going to take more time. You don't know if your page is going to convert. You could find out in 10 minutes. It's not the best test, but it's quick and a lot cheaper than taking the time to do the long-term SEO stuff. So even if it is just a couple $100, send some traffic to what you think is your offer and see what happens. If it's not working, tweak it until you find some results that are promising. It'll give you more confidence.
Right. Now, right now I do traffic from publicity, from free media, and it's slightly different traffic. I find it's pre-converted basically.
Yeah.
So I essentially learned my lesson that I had to kind of get out of their way and let them buy, because oftentimes they were, it's right after they get out of their car, they're in the office and they're trying to buy something before the manager peeks over their shoulder seeing that they're on the wrong website, But what would you say should be my focus if I'm going to transition from that mindset to more of the Google?
Well, you're going to keep doing the publicity. This is something you add on
this
top
it's
of
a
it.
separate site. But I noticed, I do have sites that have opt-ins, and it just gets organic clicks from time to time, just from people search about me. But I want to improve on that because I'm getting some exposure. I'm going to be getting some exposure on PBS, for example, and a couple of other big shows coming up I can't mention. But I know there's going to be, on top of the instant sales I get, I know there's going to be just people who put my name into Google and then get it. And I have a pretty complex, well put together speaker page that also has an opt-in. And I'm just wondering, how can I maximize my opt-ins? Do pop-up windows, are they any good?
Yeah, you don't want to use, here's what I would say. You're basically talking about warm traffic and warm leads versus cold leads. When you hear all these big guys in the internet world talk about their traffic, and they shout out these huge numbers, conversions, that's usually talking about warm traffic. An affiliate promoted that's a warm lead. A warm lead for you is even somebody who saw you in another source and knows you already.
When you go to on TV.
When you go to buy traffic, you're buying.
I can convert as much as 50% from some of these shows.
So what you want to do when you buy your cold traffic, make sure you run them through a funnel that builds the trust and credibility, and show them how big you are. No, it's like, now, all right, rather than just try to sell them something away, make sure they understand that you've been in all these places.
Same mistake I made with the publicity.
Right, but you got to do it in a tasteful way that's not just you showboating yourself.
Right.
Find a way that's like, watch this interview where I talked about the top memory technique.
Yeah.
You know, now they see you in a public place, but they're also getting the skills that you teach. So they're kind of a double thing. So build trust. You got to build trust when you buy that cold traffic to get it to convert. So make sure you bring them through that type of funnel.
And the ultimate goal, the way you want to think about it, is it's a gumball machine. You're putting in a quarter, you want to pull out dollars. If you can, I mean, technically, if you can put in 25 cents and get out 26 cents, you made money and you added someone to your list. But your goal is positive ROI from day one. It might take you a little longer to figure that out and test things, but the goal is put in money, pull out more money.
And with what you have right now, figure out what is your value per customer. You know,
That's actually
So then
something,
you can figure out how much you can afford to spend to get a new one.
And how
Well-
much you can take on, too. Everyone's got to find out if it's a time-based service or whatever you're offering.
No, it's information.
Okay, perfect.
But I mean, I do have coaching, but it's a premium
Right.
thing.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Thank you very
very much. Yeah, and it's great to understand like cold leads.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, cold leads.
This is one of those.
That also gets you traffic, too, just so you know.
You know, it's not just $50,000 a month to pay him.
There might be some people in the room here like myself who actually are, their websites aren't as built out as they would like them to, so we
Sure.
feel like we're not quite ready
Yep.
for AdWords. So you had mentioned something about getting a website ready. Can you
Right.
talk a little bit more about that and those things that some of us who are still pretty hands-on with our websites?
In terms of the things that you should do or where you're at and what you need next.
Well,
Does that make
so
sense?
for example, I don't get much traffic to my website.
Okay.
My stuff is, my clients are more word of mouth, and I'm pretty good with social media, and I'm a really good networker. But my site doesn't convert anything. It's
Mm-hmm. Right.
all conversation.
Right, okay.
So how can I, take a look at that a little bit more? So I have a WordPress website,
Right.
and supposedly WordPress is good for SEO, but that there's apparently something you actually have to do to make
Gotcha,
it happen.
gotcha, yeah. Well, first,
just
you know,
magically
It
work.
doesn't
Right.
magically
Yeah,
happen.
no,
Thank you.
totally. First, don't worry so much about the SEO. What the new rules of SEO, because they changed so much, and that's one thing I'm kind of damn glad I'm not as involved in as I used to be. Just write from your heart, write from good stuff, write about what you know, and the SEO will happen, okay?
Really?
For the most part. For the most part.
You got to put
Okay?
your keywords in there too.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
those will come out of you talking about what you do. Okay? Writing content is key. Just like, that's Google's new main metric. Okay? They used to love backlinks, but that got pickier and pickier. They still do, but it's very hard to influence the way it used to.
Right,
If
that's why you need that triad of content,
Exactly.
activity.
If you write good content and get in that habit, that is
So I
one
blog
good thing.
weekly, have for a year.
Cool, perfect. All right, so that's taken
There's your
care
next
of,
book, by the
okay?
way.
Your other elements is you need to make sure that you have a way of capturing these leads, okay? So whether it's Aweber or any other, or MailChimp, having...
It's all in there.
Good,
Yeah.
okay. So then it's make sure of refining that funnel. Study what happens when people go through that.
But I'm not actually getting people to the site.
Okay, well, if all those things are set up at least, that's number one.
Okay.
We make sure with all our clients they have all these things in place before we start sending any traffic.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's a matter of, would you say you have a funnel in place that could take someone from being a first-time visitor to a customer?
I have a funnel. It's not nearly as built out as I would like it to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, the first process we would do is go through that step by step and say, what, even in your own terms, what's not there that you think could be better. And then we look at it and say, all right, well, here's what you should do and here's what you should add.
Okay.
That all make sense?
Yeah.
And again, you could spend $50-100 and just get a few people in there, or even if it's just, putting up a few posts on Facebook or finding some way. What was your niche again? Sorry, you told me outside.
Business development or
Okay.
business expansion strategy.
And even if you know somebody, like I have an affiliate right now who's just getting started. He's got a small list, but he's really excited to help me out and try it out. If you know anybody that might have some list or anything that's relative to this, even doing a cross promotion or say, hey, would you want to try
Some
and
more
help it out?
JV stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's your
Okay.
free traffic. It's warm, which is good.
Yeah.
But also, you want to know what you convert at with warm leads. And when you buy traffic, it's a whole different story. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
However, if you need traffic first off, first make sure you have something that you would consider to be a full marketing funnel.
Okay.
Then find some way, whether it's a JV to send some traffic, whether you buy a little bit of traffic on AdWords or some other source, and then just monitor it and see what happens. Again, use Google Analytics to see, use your merchant account to see, how
And
much
if you
came
go
in.
to Google, if you Google AdWords free credit, like you
Yeah.
can find a code where they'll give you like your first $100 in ads for free.
Yeah.
Or you may have to spend $25 and they'll give you an extra 100 in free traffic.
Yeah.
So use the house money, use their money to get the free traffic to see how well it does, and maybe even you'll have data, and heck, you might even sell something so
Yeah.
you can afford to buy more traffic.
One other big quick thing, know who you think your best prospect is, the demographic of that prospect. Have that down, as much confidence as you can have right now in what your core prospect would be. Write that out. Know what it looks like, because Google's very good at being able to pin that down. You don't need to use a lot of fancy tools, but if you know who your prospect is, it's very easy to get just in front of them. So you're gonna
So use the tools to have them find my
Yes.
ideal
right.
clients
But even
for
before
me.
that, make sure you know who your ideal
Right.
client is.
They
That's
can't
the-
find someone if you don't know who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
If you know that, then then design it for that type of person.
Cool.
So those are some quick.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.